Hey guys, welcome back to Bama-Q Live. I'm Eric from the Rolling Grill here on behalf of Western Wood, and today we got a good one for you. Smoked beef cheeks. We're gonna do some smoked beef cheek tacos. Now, you can find this at some of your big box stores, like Sam's, preferably you can find these. But if you find them, they're not gonna be clean. So this is what you're gonna be looking at. And this is what comes in one bag. You're gonna get you're gonna get both sides of the cheek in one bag. So my recommendation to you is if you're gonna do a big party, you might wanna buy a few bags. So let's go ahead and show you, let me go ahead and show you how to break it down and how to trim it up, because there's a lot of trim work. There's a lot of trim work and a lot of silver skin, a lot of all of that. So you basically just wanna cut off as much as you can. Now keep in mind, we're gonna smoke these over some Western Post Oak chips. We're gonna use the gas grill today. Any apartment dwellers out there, you too can have beef cheek tacos. Perfect. Gas grill is all you need. Some good Western Post Oak. I would definitely recommend the Post Oak chips on the beef. Post Oak and beef. I mean, they go hand in hand. I mean, that's a Texas thing right there. So if you want to try to get as close as possible to some authentic Texas smoke flavor, some of this Western Post Oak chips would be right up your alley. All right, so basically what I'm doing is just cutting off as much of this connective tissue and sinew and all that stuff as I can. Now this kind of stuff right here, we're not gonna worry about those fibers. They'll break down over the cook. But anything that looks out of place that you know you're not gonna be able to chew and enjoy, just take it off. All right, that one right there, there's a little bit of fat over here, a little bit of silver skin. So I definitely recommend, if you're gonna make beef cheek tacos, do the prep the day before. Because, I mean, look at there. I've only worked on one already, and this is how much I got in the throwaway pile. You can't do nothing with it. You can't use it for sausage or nothing. I mean, it's basically crap. So this one right here is going in my bowl. That's one. I prep another half. Like I say, you just want to get as much of this connective tissue off as possible. But I tell you what, beef cheeks, delicious. Delicious. The key to it is to give it some good smoke up front, finish it off in a nice braise, foil wrapped up until it just falls apart tender. And that is some good eating. All right. For the sake of time, we'll call that one good. And this one right here, see, this is what you're looking at. A lot of that, you can't even use that. But I'm gonna go ahead and knock it out real quick since we got this one out the bag. And again, just try to get as much of it off as you can. Real sharp knife. I mean, look at that. Look at that. I mean, that's just throwaway. You can't do nothing with it. So what I'm gonna do is just come and get all of the meat, and I'll leave the rest of this behind. So out of all of that, this right here I can do nothing with. So just keep in mind, you're gonna throw away a lot, but the end result is some pretty fine eating. All right, so we're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna leave that on there. Some of this will break down in the cook. All right, so let's get to it. So this is one half of my beef cheeks. Let me get this out the way, put this back in the bag. This is one half of a cheek, of the cow's, of the cheeks. So basically this is what we're gonna do. I got a combination, I'm gonna do a combination of some Jack Daniel's steak seasoning. I'm gonna do a half and half. This has a lot of the, granulated garlic and onions, good stuff. And then we're gonna use some hardened season. Good and peppery. They play real well together. That is good to go. Now, this right here, totally optional. This is a brisket marinade, or you can use any kind of hickory flavored marinade, any kind of mesquite flavored marinade. If you're gonna marinate them overnight, then I would definitely say put a little bit of that on there. This right here is very mesquite and hickory liquid smoke heavy. You know me, I do everything with, I don't have olive oil in the bottle. I use the spray for everything. It's just less mess. And now you come on and you want to season it up real good. Like I say, it can take a lot of pepper. All right, there we have it. My recommendation, stick them in the refrigerator for a few hours, let them sit. But we don't have that kind of time today. So this is what we're gonna do. Since we're gonna cook these on the gas grill, I already have some ready to go. Let's move these out the way. As you can see, we've got the post oak wood chips in our wood chip box. All you simply have to do is take them, and I'm not gonna put them directly on the grill. This is indirect. This one is the only one that's burning. So I'm just gonna take them and put them as far away as I can. My goal is to try to keep this grill at about 250 degrees for about 2 hours, and you should be good to go. So we're gonna crank that down, turn it all the way down, and let that go. Now, this right here, let me get this out the way. Let's get all this out the way. Let's bring over a fresh bowl. Let's get this out the way. All right. These right here, after they come off the smoker, you're gonna wrap them up in a pan. You're gonna put a little bit of your braising liquid, in this case I use a brisket marinade, on top. You're gonna foil wrap them up, and you're gonna let them go in the pit, in the grill, for about another hour, hour and a half. You really just wanna take them until they're fork tender or they falling apart, which you'll see in a minute. So let's go ahead and take these off. Let's get that thrown away. All right. And so I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about. Nice and wiggly. That's what you're looking for. Let's take all of them out. All of that fat that I left on some of them, it just turned to like gelatin. So let's get a fresh glove. All right. Now, if you didn't feel like you had enough liquid or they wasn't juicy enough, that's probably because you, at some point, you probably over smoked them and then had the heat up too high. But look at this. You should be able to take it just like pulled pork and pull it apart. Just like that. You can see that beautiful smoke ring in that meat, and that's all you want to do. If you need a fork to really get in there and get it, then you probably didn't cook them long enough. And man, if you could smell this, look at that. That's what you want. All that fat, that muscular fat, is just turned to gelatin. It's just sticky in your hand. That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. These are kind of hot, so I'm gonna use this tongue a little bit to break them up. But look at that. Look at that smoke ring. Beautiful. That's what you want. All right, so we have these ready to go. You could chop it up or pull it apart as fine as you want to. This is pretty good for me. So I'm gonna leave these alone. I'm gonna take these gloves off. Put a little foil over it. Because I don't care how much you prepare, you're always gonna find a fly in your food at a barbecue. All right, we're gonna take this off right here. Let's get to it. We're gonna be using this grill. All I'm gonna do is let the heat and the charcoal come up to temp. I'm gonna move this out the way. Get me a new cutting board. These are my shells right here. Let's get this out the way. All right, now, cilantro. Let's move this back out the way. Salsa verde. White onions. All we want to do, this is very simple. The hard part was in smoking the beef cheeks. We just want to chop the cilantro up. As fine as you want to. And you got to use white onion, not yellow onion, not sweet onion, not Vidalia onion, white onion. And we're going to mix these with the onions. Mix the cilantro and onions together. Beautiful. Now you got to get in there with your hands. I don't have a spoon, so I'm going to get in there with my hands. Set this to the side. That right there is ready to go. You got your salsa verde. You got a little extra cilantro if you need it. Let's set these to the side. Now, let's get our cutting board cleaned off. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put my shells on here. It's not too hot on here. I got all my heat to the right. Got some limes on here. Got a few jalapeno peppers on here as well. Now, I cannot stress this enough. I know we grew up in the taco era where a lot of people tend to think that yellow and orange cheese is the way to go. Queso fresco is the way to go. You gotta chop it up real fine. It's like perfect, authentic on a good taco. Chop it up real nice and fine. But this is the key, man. This is one of the keys right here. Definitely do not want to put yellow cheddar cheese, any of that crap on a beef cheek taco. That right there is not gonna cut the mustard. So let's move these out the way. I'm gonna move my cheese over here. All right, and you'll be able to find this in any of your grocery stores. Queso fresco cheese. It's the good stuff. So now we have all of our condiments. Now, corn shells. I double them up. These aren't the best quality corn shells. They have a tendency to fall apart. But all I want to do is really just heat them through. So, now that I have them heated through, let's get our cutting board clean. Let's take that. We're going to take one of our shells, two of our shells. We're going to bowl them up just like that. We're going to come over here to this delicious smoked beef cheek. If you like flour shells would also work also. Put as much meat in there as you like. Now, you know what? Let's go on first with the salsa verde. A little bit on there. A little bit on there. A little bit of the onions and cilantro. Lastly, some good queso fresco cheese. Man, you talking about some good eating. That right there. Pair it up with some good roasted jalapeno peppers. A few grilled limes. If you need a little bit, squeeze a little bit of that smoked lime juice right on top. And that, my friends, is a beautiful smoked beef cheek taco. Hey, I want to thank y'all for joining us here at Bama-Q Live. I'm Eric from the Rolling Grill, here on behalf of Western Wood. Catch y'all on the next one.